Well, since we're talking about anchors, we're going to talk about the greatest shallow water anchor ever invented, and that is the power pole. They were the first shallow water anchor system. I believe they're the best, but there are other versions out there from other companies. Check those out if you like them, that's great. But what these power poles are, they're a hydraulic anchor that goes up and down, and it holds you in shallow water. You can get different sizes. This is an 8-foot size. I prefer this on my boat because they don't get very tall. And let me show you how they work here real quick if you're not familiar. And if you are, just kind of bear with me. So I'm holding this button down. I hold it down, the power poles come up. If I push it down, the power poles go down. And there's a few reasons why I prefer the power pole over some of the other versions. These are hydraulic in that they have a feedback. So as you can see, these are down. If big waves came through, it's got hydraulic fluid in the lines, and so as that wave rocks the boat, so my arm is the boat, my hand is the power poles, and this is the ground, power poles are down. The wave action is going to push the power poles up and down, but the point of the power pole is going to stay down. The pressure of that hydraulic fluid is keeping the spike on the ground. It works really well if there's a lot of wave action. It works really well if you have really hard bottom where they're not penetrating the bottom too far. So it's just a fantastic way to anchor in shallow water. Now I'll talk about why I have two. Two power poles are stronger for a larger boat. So this is a 24-foot bay boat. I highly recommend getting two 8-foot power poles in larger bay boats. It stops the boat, it keeps the boat from spinning, so you can anchor into the wind, you can anchor into the current to an extent. And let's say you're flipping docks, or fishing some structure. You can position your boat, and I'll do that here real quick. So I want to position my boat that way a little bit. Just spin the boat around. Flick of the button. I've got both power poles down, and it's going to hold my boat in the position that I want to fish. So if you can get two, get two. I just love these. I can't say enough good things about them. There are a couple tips when using them. There's different speed controls on these power poles. So if you're coming in to fish and you're quiet, you came in with your trolling motor, put it on the speed that's like a mid-speed or a slower speed. The power poles will go down much slower, and they won't create as much disturbance in the water to spook your fish off. Another thing, if you're in really mucky water, don't put your power poles way down into the mud, because sometimes they'll get a little bit stuck. So just put them down just far enough, wait till your boat stops. So if I'm coming into a spot, I'll put my power poles down till I can feel the boat slowly stop, and the power poles will be dragging a little bit. And then once the boat slows down, then I'll give it one more hit of the button here, and that'll push them down, and then I'll be fully anchored. If you just mash that button down and hold it till it stops, and you're in really mucky water, like let's say you're fishing up where there's a lot of mud and a lot of oysters, and you break through, you might think it's really deep, but really your power poles are just totally down in the mud, and it can be a bear getting them up. Let me show you a real quick trick here on how to get those up if they are stuck. So I'm going to hammer this down in this bottom here. It's pretty hard. But if you ever find your power poles are stuck, worst case scenario, what you can do is you can grab the bottom of the power pole, get out into the water, and manually pick them up a little bit, and then keep that button on the up and pick them up, and then once they start moving, they'll come all the way up. So you can do that, worst case scenario, but what I like to do is I'll go up, and if it's not moving, I'll stop, let the boat readjust, I'll go down a little bit, let the boat readjust, and then they break free. So a little trick right there. If you only have one power pole, that's super great. Just make sure that you approach the fish from up current or upwind, and that way the bow of your boat or wherever you want to fish from is going to be facing where you want to fish. Nothing wrong with just having one, but if you can get two, get two. And I can't say enough good things about them, and it's super easy. Now I want to show you one more thing that I've done on my boat. This is my personal boat that I fish out of, and just about every day on fishing charters. So I've got my iPilot, my Minn Kota iPilot remote here, and then I have one power pole remote. I have both power poles synced up to one remote. So I push it down, they both go down, push it up, they both go up. Now if we come over here to my center console here, I've got two switches. left power pole, right power pole, so I can do them individually. If I'm fishing a very spooky fish, like let's say big sea trout on shallow flats, oftentimes what I'll do is I'll hit my button here, and as you can see here, let me see if I can block the shade. This is your speed. So you hit that one, and you can see the light. See how fast that's blinking? That's mid speed, fast speed, slow speed. So I'm going to keep it on the slow speed, and then I will use this, and that'll raise or lower just my left power pole and my right power pole. So I'll put one down once the boat slowly stops, then I'll put my other one down. Another thing that I can do is I can pick one left one up, pivot the boat right or left if I want to adjust it, and then put the other one down. So I have my options of adjusting the boat exactly how I want it. I've got my controls right up here, and for my back power poles, I've just got one remote here, so it's really easy. So that's really all I have for you with power poles. If you don't have them, you can get away with using one of those stick anchors. They work really good, or a regular anchor. But if you have power poles, it is about the best thing you can use in shallow water.
And if you're new to Salt Strong, just know that we're the best online fishing club in America because we actually guarantee that you'll be catching more fish while saving time and money. We do this through our premium education, our exclusive insider community, and huge discounts on all the tackle you need. To learn more, go to saltstrong.com. Otherwise, hope to see you again soon.